Unmute Jack.
Maybe stand on
I'm not muted.
Maybe stand on the better.
Where?
There.
Jack, you want me to hold it?
Yeah, let them be told. Perfect. Thank you. He's sitting in a better angle. Okay. Let me know when I can start. Yes. With your permission. Some 86 years ago was a special day. Jews all over the world were fasting. It was not a regular fast. This was a fast that lasted over 24 hours. It was Yom Kippur. Towards the end of the day, Am Yisrael started the Ne'ilah prayers. It was the holiest moment of the holiest day of the year. Prayers of men, women, and children were entering the heavenly sphere. The words, Anshe Emunah Avadu. Men, people of loyalty, of truth, are no more. Anshe Emunah Avadu. Those words filled Batei Knesset all over the world. And as this was happening, in a faraway place, a place that is closer to the South Pole than to Jerusalem, and much closer, was born Yosef ben Ora, the Manoach, Rabbi Yosef ben Ora ani kaparat mishkavo. His name, Yosef ben Ora, his name Yosef, the word Yosef means to add, lehosif. Ora means light. His name means he who will add light to the world. I never realized what a beautiful name my father had until after he left us. To understand my father, I'd like to read for you chapter 41 of Avot de Rabbi Natan. It states as follows: Rabbi Shimon Omer, Shelosha Ketarim Hem. There are 3 crowns. Keter Torah, Keter Kehuna, Keter Melucha. There is the crown of the Torah, there is the crown of the king, and there is the crown of the Kohen. And it continues, and it says as follows: Keter Kehuna Kesa. Let's say you want to acquire the crown of the Kohen. It says, Afilu noten kol kesef vezahav ba'olam en notenim lo. If he gives all the money in the world, I want to be a Kohen. It's not yours. Shene'emar ve'hayta lo berit kehunat olam. It's for Aharon and for Aharon's children. Next crown. Keter malchut. A person says, I want to be a king. Afilu noten lo kol kesef vezahav ba'olam en notenim lo. He can give all the money in the world. I want to be the king. You're not the king, because Hashem promised David HaMelech shene'emar ve'David abdi nasi lahem le'olam. David is going to be the eternal king. That's who gets to be king. But there is a third crown. The third crown is Keter Torah. Keter Torah eno chen. Amala shel Torah. Torah is dependent upon toil, upon hard work. Kol haroseh litol yavo veitol. Anyone who wants to get the crown, he can get it. Doesn't matter who you are. It depends on hard work. You know, there were other rabbis. There were other sages in my father's generation, of course. But there's something special about my father. There's something different. Because Hachamim generally, they're the product of a society. They're the product of a city. Yerushalayim ila Kodesh, Tebaria, Yeshivot, Talmidei Hachamim. And when you have Talmidei Hachamim, and you have Yeshivot, and you have cities where there is the light of the Torah, you're going to have other Talmidei Hachamim continuing that tradition. But my father was different. He was not raised in Yerushalayim. He was not raised in Eretz Yisrael. He was not raised in a place of yeshivot. He was raised in Buenos Aires of the 1930s, a secular European type society. where not only was religion not important, but it was actually something that was looked down upon, even in the Jewish community. Jews were intermarrying with Goyot. And while there were the traditional Jews, yes, there were those, but to a point, you can't take Torah and Mitzvot too seriously. And if you want to study Torah, that puts you in a situation where you will be mocked by others. That's the society that my father came from. But notwithstanding, what does the Mishnah, the Halakha in Avot Rabbi Natan say? Kol haroseh lito. What does it mean, kol? Anyone, anywhere, anytime can get the Keter Torah. And that's what my father decided to do. And he suffered for this. He paid a high price. There's a pasuk in Tehillim, it says, there's a pasuk that says that people were hungry, people were thirsty. They didn't know what to do. I will leave it at that. Because of this. Because my father wanted the Torah. And he realized that the place, the society he was in, is not a place where he would be able to develop as a Talmid Hakham. He left. He left at the age of 17. So I'm thinking, and maybe some of you are thinking, how does, I wouldn't even call him a young man, still a child at the age of 17, leaves the home, no apparent livelihood, has to struggle to make a living, has to find a home, has to find a place, has to find himself. Will this person be able to study Torah? Will this person be able to become not just a Talmid Hakham, but a Gadol Hador? You say, it can't be. It can't be. But what does the Mishnah say? Kol haroseh lito. Anyone who wants the Sefer Torah. What does it depend on? Amalah shel Torah. You have to toil for the Torah. And that's exactly what my father did. He toiled for the Torah. And he became who he is. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. There's something that puzzled me. There's a Gemara in Masechet Yomah, Daf Lamed He. The Gemara says that there's three people. They go to Olam Haba, and they get nailed in Olam Haba. Who are these three people? So one person is very handsome, very beautiful, very, very, very good looking. So he goes to Olam Haba. He didn't do well in this world. So the Malachim come, they say, what happened? Tell us, why did you fail so terribly? He said, it wasn't my fault. Look, Hashem made me good looking. I mean, I was good looking. Everybody thought I was good looking, and I made sins. I mean, it's not my fault. The Malachim say, hold on just 1 second. Just wait here. A minute later, who comes into the room? Yosef HaSadiq. Yosef HaSadiq was more than good looking. He was a handsome man in his generation. He was young. Eshet Potifera wanted to be with him. She didn't leave him alone night and day. She wanted to be with him. And he refused to make an avon. And they tell this guy, were you in a worse situation than Yosef? Not really. Okay, go get yours. Second person is the rich man, very rich, always busy with businesses, and he can't study Torah. And he goes to Olam Haba. They say, well, why don't you study Torah? Why don't you go to classes? Why don't you, do something? I was busy. Don't you know who I am? Didn't you see what I invested in and what I did and what I built? Say, hold on just 1 second. They bring the Elazar ben Chisma. They say the Elazar ben Chisma, he was the wealthiest man of his generation. And he realized that he cannot study Torah because every time there was another issue and another business and another technicality that he had to deal with, and he finally gave it all up and he said, I want to study Torah. Did you do that? No. Okay. And then the third person is the poor person. He comes to Olam Haba. They say, why don't you study Torah? I was poor, I was struggling, I couldn't study. Okay, just hold on 1 second. They go get Hillel. You know who Hillel was? He was such a poor person. They wouldn't let him into the yeshiva. They didn't let him into the yeshiva to study. He didn't have money to eat. And you know what happened to Hillel? He didn't care. He climbed to the top of the yeshiva, and it was a snowstorm in Jerusalem, and he didn't care. He put his ears against the skylight. He wanted to hear what's going on in the yeshiva. And he almost froze to death. Did you reach that level? That's a story in the Gemara. And I always thought, the Gemara always, it's the number 4. It always brings 4 things. Arba'ah avot nezikin. That's 4. Yesiot Shabbat, shetayim shehen. Arba. Keneged arba banim. Dibera Torah. Arba marot negaim. Yediot hatumah, shetayim shehen arba. Everything is 4, 4, 4. Where's the 4th case? Where's the 4th case? The 4th case is the person who says, I couldn't study Torah. I was raised in a secular culture, in a European society, in a place where not only I couldn't study, but people were against studying Torah, and they mocked me and they put me down for studying Torah. Did you really expect me to study? And today they can do it. Today, when somebody goes to Olam Haba and he gives that excuse, they're going to bring my father. And they're going to tell him, where were you raised? What happened to you? Did you study? Did you make it? That's the 4th case. And I'm telling you, when the Mashiach comes and they continue the Gemara, that's what they're going to add. They're going to add Hakham Yosef Fa'ul ben Ora. That's what's going to be in the Gemara. That's the 4th case that we missed. And because my father had the Keter Torah, he was loved by the Hachamim. Harav Mordechai Eliyahu. Harav Mordechai Eliyahu. He loved my father because he knew that my father got Semichat Rabbanut from his teacher. Salman Chugi Abad, he gave my father Semichat Dayanut. And Harav Mordechai Eliyahu knew this, and he loved my father. And he commented to somebody that my father is the greatest Hakham to ever enter America. This is not me, his son speaking. This is Harav Mordechai Eliyahu, the chief rabbi of Israel. And I remember when they used to discuss Divrei Torah together, Harav Mordechai and my father, it was like 2 lions. The reverence they had for each other, the awe they had for each other, the Torah that was coming out of their mouths. And then there was the great Rabbi Chaim Halevi, chief rabbi of Tel Aviv, how much he loved my father. I remember as a young child going with my father to his office on several occasions. And then there was a chief rabbi of Haifa, Rabbi Yosef Mesas, who loved my father so much, and anytime my father came to the knis, he would sit down, Rabbi Yosef, and he would tell my father, please, you give the Devar Torah in my place. I saw it, I was there. And there was Hakham Matub Abadi, and my father was his prize student in the class that he used to give. And then there was the chief rabbi of Netanya, Harav David Shlush. My father was invited on so many occasions to give Divrei Torah. And then there was the chief rabbi of Jerusalem, and I could go on and on and on. And then there was Harav Ezra Bar Shalom, Haver B'din Gadol B'Yerushalayim, who came to my father. He said, he was the son-in-law of Harav Ovadia Yosef. He had a signed copy of Yabia Omer, I think it was Halek Hayat, if I'm not mistaken, signed by Harav Ovadia Yosef for my father, because there was so much respect and love by the Talmidei Chachamim towards my father. All this love, all this respect is not because my father was raised in a place like Yerushalayim. He was raised in a place where there was darkness. But my father's name is Yosef ben Ora. His job was to bring light to the world. And you don't need to bring light if you come from a place of light. You need to bring light if you come from a place of darkness. And that's exactly what my father did. And I'm about to end. I know that some of you may have experienced some comments and some perhaps even disparaging remarks aimed at my father. Doesn't matter. Hakol letova. We accept all the Yisurim be'ahava. We do. My father accepted the Yisurim be'ahava, and he loved life. But I want to show you something. I brought something here with me tonight. I will show it to you in a minute. It's a photograph. Before I show you this photograph, I want to explain to you something about the photo so you can understand it when you see it. It was taken Sunday morning, Israel time, last week, exactly a week ago. Here is what led up to the photo. My father just suffered a massive heart attack. His heart muscles literally collapsed. He was having severe chills all over his body. His lungs were filling up with fluid. He couldn't breathe. He was gasping for air. My mom and my son Jojo, they're rushing him to the hospital. They want to rush him to the hospital. And eventually they do. He gets to the hospital. And he goes to Olam Haba. I want to show you the photo. Before he goes to the hospital, this is my father. Before he goes to the hospital, my mom, God bless her for the way she took care of my father. Just God bless her. I can give hours and hours of speeches about what an Eshet Chayil is, and it wouldn't be enough to speak about my mom, what she did for my father. My mom and Jojo want to rush him to the hospital, but he won't go to the hospital because this is what he was doing. I want you to look at this picture. His face is discolored because he's losing oxygen. I want you to look at this picture. I want you to see this picture and ask yourself, who is this person? Who is this person who just suffered a massive heart attack? And what does he do? Tefillin. He's not going to give up a day of tefillin. I don't have to say anything else. Next time you say Anshe Emunah Abadu, people of truth, people of loyalty to God, I want you to think about this picture. Because this is who my father was. This is the truth. Teheh nishmato serura b'surah al-chaim. Mechila, if I just want to say something. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהי ולאבותיי, שתמחול לי, שאני יודע שההספד שנתתי זה לא מספיק. זה מה הכוח שיש לי, זה הכוח שהיה לי להספיק כמו הבא, אבל סלח לי, שלא הספקתי אותו כראוי. יהי רצון מלפניך, ויגון בי לפניך, אדוני סולי וגואלי. You want to check if Joey is up?
Yeah.
I think Joey.